everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. As always, I'm your host, Jake Combs, and today we're not just taking a look at Outgunned again, which we've already reviewed in a previous video, but the folks at Free League and Two Little Mice were kind enough to share some of the newer supplements with us. They're the mission dossier for Project Medusa, World of Killers, and Action Flicks. Now, I have not even opened these books. All I've done is just take them out of the shipping container. And the only one I've actually looked at was the core book itself. And for those that don't remember the review or basically just want the snapshot version, it was amazing. Definitely worth a play. Now, we were super excited about these ones when we first saw that they were available. Basically, the same day that I finished my review for Outgunned, I reached out to the folks at Free League. I put in a request for them to send these to us. They said yes, thankfully, and then they sent them on their way. Now, for those that aren't aware, recently Outgunned actually did a Kickstarter that has multiple other releases in it that apparently were already available that I wasn't even aware of. One of them being an adventure themed one, I believe a couple editions of that, 2 more editions of Action Flicks, and then the Kickstarter itself was for the superhero edition. Now, all of those could be basically worked together and combined for an amazing overall story, or it can be done individually with just the core book to essentially sweeten or to kind of tone and change the tone of the story that you want to tell with some little tweaks here and there. So again, I have not looked at these whatsoever other than taking them out of the box and looking at the cover. So let's go ahead and take a look at Project Medusa. So this is a 3-shot introductory campaign, and I see this as not being much different than most other quick one-shots like we did for Avatar and some others. So basically, it should have everything you need pretty much created ahead of time for you to start a mission. And then some of these characters you'll recognize from the core book as far as available. And then basically setting you up to play the predetermined story. So that way, if you're new to the game mechanics and you want to kind of play it and get everything started much faster, this is definitely the way to go. And there's a lot of detail in here, which I'm not surprised by. Based on the level of detail in the core book, I honestly expect nothing less, and cannot wait to try Project Medusa. All right, so World of Killers. This is a supplement of assassins, hired guns, and secret societies. So basically, I kind of think of this like the John Wick edition. And then right there, Killer Rules. So the goal, you are the hero in the game, and so we have new. So we have the samurai, the hired gun, the aristocrat, the dog trainer, and the derelict. I'm guessing the hired gun would probably be like John Wick. And as before, we have the classic samurai movies to use in reference. So we have Kane in John Wick 4, which I believe he was the blind assassin. Connor McLeod in Highlander. The Bride in Kill Bill makes perfect sense. Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy. A lot of the references make a lot of sense. And then hired guns, yep, John Wick, just like I guessed. Kate and Kate, I'm not familiar with that film by name. Leon, I'm pretty sure that's the assassin movie with Natalie Portman when she was much younger. Fox and Wanted, great movie, one of my favorites. Deadshots and Suicide Squad. We got the Aristocrat section, which is, again, includes stuff for John Wick, the first one and the fourth one, Mission Impossible, Devil Wears Prada, even referencing Wednesday and Bridgerton. So I like the range of characters that they use to help kind of show you how you should be playing the character. That way, if you've only seen like one or two things, you have a lot more groups to learn. So that way you can watch those others and get a better idea for how they work. Dog trainers, again, another John Wick character. The movie Canine, which I'm not familiar with that one by name, and then of course I Am Legend, which I believe that was the main character. So for the Derelict, we include the Pigeon Lady from Home Alone 2, and so many other classic Derelict roles. And then the Assassin, which kind of surprising. Either I'm blind or they don't actually list any movies for that one. For references, I think the idea is that you should already know the idea of what an assassin is. But one thing I did forget to show is that here they have some catchphrases, some open flaws, and special characteristics that you basically pick for your character. And when I saw that this book was available, my first thinking was that it was going to be the book that would essentially allow you to play as John Wick, or maybe even against John Wick. And we've got some different types of bad guy groups, mob, families, and then the Belmont Hotel, basically the hotel from John Wick, which I can't remember the name of it. I'm pretty sure it starts with an A. If you guys immediately know what it is without having to look it up, please remind me what it is. And so there's a lot of references in here that I see to John Wick, like the blood mark in the coin for the blood debt. And just at a glance, this thing looks amazing. It does come with new rules as well for Blade and Belmont, gold, train dogs, things like that. So definitely expanding on the mechanics as a whole. And first impressions, just looking at it, this one looks like it's going to be absolutely amazing, absolutely in my wheelhouse, the kind of story that I would want to play in Outgunned. Now, action flicks, the cover itself immediately makes me think of Last Action Hero. And, I've always been a fan of action films, so this is definitely going to be another one for me. And so we have Star Raiders, Rising Dragon, Cloak and Dagger, Great Powers, Weird Things. So a lot of different styles of action flicks. And it even actually lists them right here as if they were movies, which I really like that look. And so action flicks were designed to be played one at a time in combination with the core book. Mix action flicks at your own peril. If you mix too many action flicks, you run the risk of collapsing reality, but we agree it is also crazy fun. I love that warning. Whoever wrote that warning, it's like freaking brilliant. Like, that has me so excited to play this. I can't remember the last time I was this excited to play a new role-playing game or a new supplement. So with the first section, Star Raiders, that I see that basically doing and essentially making a movie like Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, Firefly, Star Trek. I mean, there's so many great examples right there. With laser pistols, rifles, crossbows, all that kind of stuff. And then we have characters for that. And then we have the Rising Dragon. And so basically, that's more of a kung fu type movie or ninja movie, samurai movie, things like that. And so Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the Drunken Master, House of Flying Daggers. And each one has at least one new character type. So that's martial artist. And so seeing all of these in here, Cloak and Dagger, I mean, the picture very much looks like Three Musketeers style. So, adventure movies where you're basically swashbuckling the whole time, and of course, as soon as I say it, I open the page to the swashbuckler. So a lot of, just right off the bat, a lot of really cool types of stories that we can play. That kind of magic goes into, Harry Potter, Doctor Strange, things like that. A lot of really cool stuff there. Midnight Wars, I mean, the picture very much looks like an homage to Blade, but with an axe, which, now that I see it, I need Blade to carry an axe because that sounds amazing for beheading vampires. And so we have the Slayer, which as you can see his fangs too, so he's definitely a vampire as well, at least in the picture. But it references John Constantine, Dean from Supernatural. A lot of really cool stuff. We have Neon Noir, basically looks like Cyberpunk 2077 or Blade Runner, things like that. Which the first two in the list are both Blade Runners, Ghost in the Shell, iRobot. And looking at the list, I've seen every single one of these. And pretty much a lot of wins there for someone that likes that style of film or story. And then Playing Everything at Once, which I can't believe they actually did that section. Has Last Action Hero, Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is an amazing film. And so looks like it's all about blending the different universes. And then basically giving a list of a lot of the filmography that it references. We have The Avengers, Dark Knight, The Umbrella Academy, so much great stuff in here that it's referencing. Aliens, Alien vs. Predator, which, I mean, what wasn't a fantastic film, but I still had a lot of fun watching it. So a lot of great references there. I cannot wait to play each of these. Now I'm honestly conflicted. I don't know which one I should play first. So I'm gonna let you guys decide. We're planning on playing about a week after this video gets posted. So I want you guys to basically let us know in the comments which one we should play first. Should we do Project Medusa, World of Killers, or Action Flicks? Let us know. But that's it for today. I will catch you guys as always next time, and thank you as always for watching.